3 or 4. Hi, I'm a bit early. Quite a bit early, in fact. You'll notice that the title of this game is not the subject of the game of the stream. It just says games and demos, and that's because this game, according to Twitch, does not exist, as well as like most visual novels. So I have to put it under games and demos. Let's get everything up and running. I have to take a brief second every time I start up a stream to get everything ready.
Okay,
This game has one of the most wholesome soundtracks imaginable. It's just like nice instrumentals.
Nice.
I love it. Why is it still using the thumbnail on the phone for the Yu-Gi-Oh? For the stupid Inzektor deck for Yu-Gi-Oh, or not Inzektor, Giant Ballpark deck. Alright. Okay, that's working, so I can see chat, if chat exists. Now I've got to make sure if I hit start, does it bring me to episode 3 or does it bring me to 1? Please bring me to episode 3.
Sorry, sweetie. It's stuck.
Oh, gosh darn it. Cancel. Guess I want to return the title. Okay, if I hit load, does this bring me...
Surviving as long as I can.
Okay.
I need some backup on point though.
Oh, did it just crash? Oh, that's wonderful. Oh dear. Well, let's hope it works this time. I guess we'll just go to episodes and load the newest episode. Yeah, we can do that. We'll go to episodes and we'll load episode 3.
This is what I hate about it.
Oh, this is mostly voiced.
Either way, like,
There's very little not voiced content in this game.
Ideals are for heroes, ancients in the stars. Prosperity is for no one except those in charge. All empires
This is new.
crumble away.
Well,
Dreams of old glory that are left to yesterday.
remember. Try to remember. Remember what she taught you. Her stories. Who she was. Who she still is.
Yosemite! Wherever are you hiding?
I was taught.
That's a new voice. That voice.
Oh dear me.
I was taught.
If she doesn't appear soon, I won't be able to tell her a story. Our picnic will be ruined. Whatever shall I do?
It still sounds so warm. As angelic as I remember. Remember. At least I can still do that much. Not all of us are so lucky.
Wait, I'm right here! I want to hear this story!
That's a lot younger than I remember Yosemite's voice. I guess Zion's voice is a lot older than I remember it too. Did I seriously fall for that? Such a simple trick. Yet I can't help but wish to return to the days where I would fall for it.
Oh, I'm not so sure now. It's getting rather late. Perhaps we should return to the cabin.
Preposterous!
Preposterous.
It's preposterous, dear.
Preposterous!
There was a quick rustle. My head flopped out from the bush. Or was it from behind a tree? Definitely some type of flora.
Please, Zion! I want to hear the story about the again. Tell me the story.
Pretty much just spam plank the entire game and do absolutely
That,
nothing.
oh, okay. What story was it? I'm not sure if I can recall it. It was something simple, right? A fable, I'm positive. The descriptor is on the tip of my tongue. I know it is. So why does the memory feel fuzzy when I think of it? Why does the word crackle out like radio static?
Goodness. I suppose I have no choice then.
I have no drinks with me. I guess I did not think this through.
No, you certainly do not.
So for the record, I'm not actually going.
Zion laughed.
I'm just
Her laugh was always so beautiful, like a song. It would always draw the birds to her. They would perch themselves on her shoulders, her wings, her antlers, back when she had them.
Very well. Come sit down, little one. You can't listen to a story from all the way over there, now can you?
No. Is this like a flashback before the chapter starts, or is this gonna be the whole chapter? Is like learning about past Zion?
I can't do much against the fucking bug.
I crawled out from whatever plant it was I was hiding behind.
Alright, so let's see.
Whoa!
The enemy that I mentioned is one freaking ass again.
Sitting on a long toppled over tree, Zion patted her lap. Her gown fluttered all the way down her long body and drifted with the wind. I looked up to her. I looked up to smile at her. I remember that much. And what? I looked up to smile at her, and there was no face. That can't be right. But no matter how hard I try to remember, her face is a blur. Her voice was beautiful. Her build was tall. So what did she look like?
Coming!
I skipped over to where she was sitting, and the more I think about it, the blurrier it gets.
I'm impressed that Anna actually
Details
feels
begin to
me.
blend. The patches of dirt and grass I was roaming across mixed together. They're a spiraling green and brown vortex now. Was it even a log she was sitting on? Could it have been a rock? By the time I'm sitting on her lap, it doesn't matter. By the time I was sitting on her lap, she was my anchor.
Straighten your posture.
But Zion, must I really?
Oh,
Only
fuck,
if
I
you
should fix
respect
my own
yourself.
posture.
I barely survived that bomb.
Whining, I pulled back my slumped shoulders, then rolled my eyes at her.
Should be pretty much done by now.
Except, now I don't have a face either.
Now?
Oh dear, it's getting blurrier and blurrier. Zion nodded, but now it looks like watercolors, sweating down a canvas.
Once upon a time, in a field. In the past, he had been...
Alright.
including his clothes. While wandering the endless...
This is a turn I did not expect from this visual novel. I played the first 2 chapters, and this is surprising so far. It's very, like, out of place. But it's out of place in a very good way. Cause it's
I got fucked finally.
how do you explain it? It's like
Her diva's pretty much been neutered for a bit, by the way.
it feels like it works for a memory that you're trying really hard to remember, but you can't quite get it. More vanishing words now. Why aren't they coming to me? Where did they go? Everything is congealing together now. Everything about this. I can only remember it as if I saw it all through tears. The world as I knew it is only a kaleidoscope now. A mesh of people, of colors, of sounds. Not this one. Please, any memory but this. It's too precious. Let me hear it again. Let me hear the story. Let me hear your voice. Please.
Yosemite.
Yosemite.
Okay, we're
Yosemite.
getting actually like current Zion's voice. There's a tug at my sleeve. Okay, this is the first time, at least if I remember correctly. This is the first time we've been in the first person and it not been Eve. This is the first time where we've had like a first person through Yosemite instead of Eve. That's interesting. I feel the breath leave my body as I gasp, pulling me back into consciousness. I jolt up in my seat. Zion flinches. Clenching my chest, I look down at her. Her wings are tucked in and wrapped around her like a blanket. The mangy puppy is at her side, standing guard in case I make any sudden movements. Ah, the sentimental moment background music is back. That's nice.
Go back to sleep, boy.
You know what this reminds me of? Of this particular visual novel. Reminds me a lot of, I used to watch or listen to audiobooks. And I stopped listening to audiobooks when I found visual novels, because visual novels are just higher quality audiobooks, in my opinion. They give you something to look at, and they give you like background music, and I mean, sure, there's a little bit of reading that you have to do, and you can't just pop it in and listen to it on the background in the background like you can an audiobook. But it's a bit more higher quality to me, so I like it. Her voice is gentle but firm. Seeing such authority protrude from this new, small body of hers is comical. But just like animals always do with her, the puppy listens, and after a cursory glance, it trots over to its overfluffed bed and lays down.
Okay, I got the Bob to just punch.
Light has just barely begun to creep through the window. The entire cabin is tinted in an untouched blue. Scattered across the room, I can hear Yellowstone and the Rangers snoring. The Ranger is louder. I attempt to ask her what she's doing awake so early, but a yawn breaks through instead. Only an impression of a sentence comes out.
I'm always awake this early. It's peaceful.
Her wings spread out, their feathers puffing up. She plants her hands on her waist and gives me a scolding glance.
I think the real question is, why are you sleeping at the table? It's so hard and uncomfy. No wonder you mutter in your sleep.
I wasn't sleeping. It was just a quick cat nap.
Sure. That's why it's so late, well, yeah, early in the morning, I guess. The glare only gets more stern as she flaps her wings and hovers off the ground. Soft bursts of wind kiss my face. My only warning. Excuse me, there's no voice acting here? Okay. Okay, fine. I passed out, but only because...
You were buried in your research again.
Drat. These stacks of books and papers on the table always make it nothing but obvious.
Weren't you?
Even now, after all this time and all these changes, she's still like this. At least I can latch on to it and take some small comfort.
Can't get anything past you.
Okay. I give a fake sigh and let it dissolve into a smile.
I was.
There's nothing much else I can say that wouldn't just extend the theatrics. Zion exhales deeply, landing back on the ground. Instead of stern, she only looks worried now.
I know it means a lot to you, and I don't want you to stop or anything, but you always get so cranky when you put too much of yourself into it. It's sad to watch when it happens. At least get some good sleep so you're well rested. Please.
Seems like a good idea. She stares up at me, hands folded and pleading. There's warmth in her eyes, as there always has been. Yet they aren't the same eyes I grew to cherish. They're different now. And they've been different for a long time.
Come here, little one.
I beckon her forward with my finger. She doesn't hesitate to come in for an embrace. Nuzzling in close, she squeezes me tight.
You know I get anxious real easy.
You're essentially a child.
I know. Sorry for making you worry.
I pat her, bringing her with me as I do my best to rock. To rock and forth in this chair. Okay. Yes, I can take comfort in the small reminders of the past, but it will never be the same as it was. Existing like this, hugging her like this. Perhaps it's important to love it despite everything, but it rings so hollow. I wish it wouldn't.
Say, Zion?
Her voice is muffled. She looks up. Only hair and pale eyes. The rest of her is still buried in my clothes.
Do you remember that story we like? The one you used to always tell me?
I don't think she remembers anything. She tilts her head.
No. You and Yellowstone are the ones who tell stories. That's how it's always been.
No, not always.
Maybe I've told it to you before then. It's about an animal, right? Some kind of bird?
Clutching her head, she tries to squeeze the information out of herself. But it just ends up looking painful.
I think you mentioned something about it recently, but I don't remember. I'm sorry.
It's not surprising, but it doesn't keep it from being any less disappointing.
No need to apologize.
I bring her back in close. If she saw the look on my face, it would only worry her more.
Occasionally, things just slip our minds. It's just something that happens over time.
Is she worried that she's going through the same process that Zion went through? To become like a child again? That'd make for an interesting plot. I think. It'd be very strange, but it'd be interesting.
For the love of God, Yellowstone! If you're gonna bellyache about needing help with the cleaning, then the least you can do is sweep up the soot from your head, Kano!
Okay, we're back to Eve. This is nice. I like the more cynical character. I drag my finger along the floorboard. A chalky gray powder sticks to it. It's like someone sprinkled ash from the fireplace.
You're yelling at air. She and Zion went out to find trouble hours ago.
Yosemite is sitting over at the table in her usual spot, because there is literally nothing better for her to do. But instead of flipping through a book or scribbling down notes in handwriting, I cannot read for the life of me. She's just sitting there, her hands clasped together, and resting beneath her nose.
I'm yelling at her in the general sense. It's a hypothetical yell.
Okay, Eve. That works.
It's not hypothetical if you say it out loud.
Okay.
And it's not a Saturday morning if you aren't being a pain in the ass.
It's not a morning in general, because it's been more than Saturday mornings that she's been a pain in the ass in this story.
You love it.
I tolerate it.
Kathy?
Let's see you guys.
Please.
Ow. Hey, percolator. But wait, I already knew that there was a percolator at this store. Fuck. By the time I'm over at the table, she already has a steaming hot cup of coffee for me, straight from the percolator.
I need this.
Is there a cat at the front of our door? Oh, would you look at that? There was in fact a cat at the front of our door.
Was there in fact a cat?
Does that answer your question?
Or was there in fact a cat?
Does the meowing and the curling up at your feet, does that answer your question?
And the presence of a cat.
Hey there, bud. How you doing?
Why would the presence of a cat answer whether
How you
or not
doing,
there was a
Mercury? I'm doing a thing right now, though, so I can't let you just jump up on me.
cat? And how would the presence of a cat answer whether or not there was a cat?
That's a good question. You're not just gonna leave without Mercury, are you?
I'm gonna go throw my laundry in the water.
Mark, it might be time for you to wake up at some point. Oh my god, there is now a cat joining the stream. How you doing, Mercury? I flop down in the chair. When I stare down at the cup, it's thick and black and swirling, with just a little bit of sugar.
Someone else's laundry is in the wash. Or
She
not.
remembered. Here's to you,
I
you
feel like my
overgrown
cat,
tree.
Like,
Exasperating morning.
you have a cat's tail on your face.
Yes, I noticed.
She's moaning you.
No, she's about to try and jump up on the dresser. Isn't Mitten still up there? Yes, he is.
Every day of my life is exasperating. But this...
I take a quick gulp from my mug. If I don't breathe, it doesn't burn as bad.
This has the added bonus of being my day off.
Ooh.
Isn't that normally a good thing?
Right?
No.
You would think so, right? But this also happens to be the day my boss is visiting.
Ooh.
I really will never
The
get
chatty
why you
woman
like
who
me
seems
so much.
far more respectable than you. I assumed you two got along.
What?
It's hard to get angry at that remark, even if it's chocked full of sass. Jessie is absolutely more respectable than me.
Is my
Oh,
cat.
yeah, she's a hoot. But her mercy isn't eternal. Which means no messes, no coyotes, and I can't believe life has led me to a point where I actually have to say this out loud. No park girls.
Yosemite raises an eyebrow, but I don't detect any of her usual swarm behind it.
Is that really what you call us?
What, you want to be a ghost forever?
Well, they've finally been named. Her eyes slink down, scanning the permanent mess of research cluttering the table. A joyous smirk sprouts from her lips.
No, I suppose not.
Anyway, I was hoping to get Yellowstone's help with tidying up this sty, but seeing as she's not here...
I chug what's left of my coffee and slam it down with a satisfying clank.
You'll be helping instead.
You
Okay.
just
I
decided
come
that,
back
huh?
to the room and I'm greeted by a guard cat.
Sure did. Not like you're actually doing anything productive.
And she isn't, unless you count staring at a wall productive. She's been daydreaming all morning.
I mean,
I expect...
I do nothing with my life but stare at walls. And that's
You have a job.
So,
Your job takes all productivity out of you.
I don't get how that makes.
I've seen you when you're off from work, you're just dead.
Yeah.
You just start playing Pokemon to revive the life from your dying body.
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with you. Between calls and trying to catch legendaries, that's it.
Ah, that doesn't surprise me.
Because the calls are so, like, dragged out.
Alright.
In all honesty, though, I've got me a decent money.
I expect a little
I've got
less.
my cat rushing at me for attention.
I expect a little less pushback, but aside from a dirty look, which, let's be real, it's just her regular face, she starts organizing her research into nice, orderly stacks.
I'll help you out, but only so Yellowstone doesn't have more work to do. Try to tell me how to clean, and I'll use your hat as a rag.
She sounds utterly defeated while saying it. I did stumble my way into taming... Did I stumble my way into taming her? Life really is full of happy accidents.
That's what I like to hear. See how peaceful things can be when you just bend to my will.
I say it jokingly, but you know what? It's true. Life would be so much easier if everyone just listened to what I said.
Mm-hmm.
With her books and papers, and now compartmentalized, she places them inside the cardboard box that takes up half the table, then lugs it over to the bookshelf. That's it? Just,
Then I'm gonna lug it over to the bookshelf now.
No snide comments about squashing my growing ego. No sweeping declarations of hypocrisy. Must be an off day.
You feeling okay today? If you're running a fever, you should tell me now so I can report any fires before they get out of hand.
Where's Mercury? Oh, there's Mercury. Hiding behind my chair. She walks past me and takes to the sink, not even bothering to turn on the faucet. She wrings water out from her hair and lets it dry over the dirty plates in the sink. Slightly revolting? I guess. But I'm way beyond the point of thinking too hard about this kind of stuff.
I feel fine.
Sure. Turning away from me, she goes back to the dishes, brushing me off with a wave of her hand.
I have my doubts, but assuming you know how to use a broom, get the area by the couch. That part of the floor is where Yellowstone sleeps.
Now that she mentions it, I don't think I've ever seen Yellowstone sleep on the couch. Yosemite guards with ferocity of a Rottweiler, leaving poor Yellowstone to wriggle on the floor like a slug in her sleeping bag. It almost makes me feel bad for all those times I've kicked her out of bed. Almost. I head for the closet and fish out the broom, dragging the brush across the floor, or floorboards, as I head for the couch. It's really the most efficient way to clean the maximum amount of space. Hey, Pup's still here. Uh-oh. It doesn't take long for Pup to notice it. He crouches onto his front paws, his tail wagging like the air, as the broom skids around like prey.
Don't you even!
That was my first mistake, because when I yank the broom back, he pounces. Oh my god. He lands on the head of the broom. I feel the weight immediately, unable to even tug on it without pulling him along too.
No.
As if challenging me, he bites into the brush.
You little gremlin!
I try to pull it away from him, but he just takes that as his cue to pull it towards himself.
Let's go.
I pull. He pulls. Amazing. He baited me into playing tug of war. I bet it was his plan all along. As much as I would love to spend more time with the goodest boy in the whole world, I decide to end it then and there. I drop the broom and walk over, picking him up by the scruff of his neck.
God, you're getting so heavy.
It's like he knows it too, because he's just panting happily while he dangles there. He really has grown since I was first stationed here. Before, I could easily pick him up with one hand. Now it's a bit of a workout.
Dad.
He licks his chops.
But also, so good.
I'm too much of a sucker to do anything actually scolding. But at the same time, he's too much of a liability right now. Jessie would have my head, and probably do the decapitation herself, if she saw him. I carry him over to the door and toss him onto the porch, slamming the door shut before he can charge back in. He'll just have to stay outside until the visit is over. Ah, that's adorable. There it is, the waterworks. The saddest awoo in the world. Not long after, he starts scratching at the door.
Is leaving him out there a good idea? What if he goes to the campground?
Great. He'll love the attention. You should have seen him when he was down there last week. All the kids were begging their parents to take him home.
That's a bad thing?
That's fair.
It's a thing. Humans are hardwired to love the cute little fuzzy wuzzies.
Pup's scratching at the door stops. Yosemite freezes, drops a plate in the sink. Doesn't even shatter. But I wish it did, because at least it would have ended the silence. Her head turns. The only word I can use to describe the look on her face would be concern. I cough, because any noise will ease my discomfort at this point.
Anyway, it's not a big deal. Just until Jessie leaves.
Yosemite rolls her eyes and shrugs off the encounter. It makes the walk of shame back to the broom. Or I make the walk of shame back to the broom and start to sweep.
So tell me, Ranger, why is she coming? Doesn't she typically call you over the radio to check in?
Very true.
She said she just wanted to catch up. Lord knows why when she has 1,000 more important things she could be doing.
That is true. As well. The dust on the floor has barely moved. It's just more smeared around. The damn broom must be defective.
Maybe she considers you important.
That is possible. I stop.
For her sake, I hope she doesn't. I'm just gonna keep letting her down.
Nah, you're fine. You can handle it. I have messed up the... There, I fixed it. I fixed my stapler. I have a stapler in my hand right now because somebody took the stapler that I put in the living room for people to use, and they put it back in my room, so I now have 2 staplers in my room.
Knowing her, though, I'm sure she'll just keep poking her nose into my business.
That is fair, from what we've seen of her so
Don't
far.
take it for granted. You might not always have someone like that.
That is also fair. Yosemite doesn't stop washing the dishes this time, but there's an unfamiliar weight behind her words. A tinge of wistfulness.
Yeah, I know.
Ooh. Kitty leaves. It's weird. No matter how hopeless I became, Jessie was the only person who insisted that this job has any value. That I have value. I don't know if she's right, but sometimes it was enough to actually make me feel like I was important.
Since when did you start giving good advice?
That's a good question.
Since before you were born. But you're just too stubborn to listen.
Also fair.
Nah, that can't be right.
A collage of muffled stomps and voices practically breaks down the door. It's such an unfocused racket. It sounds like a middle school marching band just descended upon the porch. Close enough to one. You got Yellowstone. Yellowstone's Yellowstone's voice carries a tune from outside. My ears already bracing for impact. She swings open the door, striking the wall with the doorknob. The dishes on the counter rattle.
I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day.
And we welcome back the most fun character in this visual novel. She marches into the cabin, caked from head to toe with dry mud, tracking it right behind her.
I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away.
Zion trots right behind her, singing the rest of the verse. She's also drenched in mud. Everywhere from her angelic hair to her pretty gown. At least she has the decency to fly instead of getting it on the floor, though.
Can't you hear the whistle blowing? Rise up so early in the morn.
She stomps around the room, spreading the gospel of mud from floorboard to floorboard. Zion follows behind her, happily. I can feel the scowl forming across my lips, my eye twitching.
Can't you hear the whistle blowing?
Oh my god. Finally, once there's a trail of muddy footsteps spiraling around the cabin, Yellowstone makes her way to me and leans in.
Dying to blow your
Oh my god. She pulls down on the air twice, like a train whistle.
Hey Ben, I'm in this picture and I don't like it.
And I think she's done.
I'm in this picture and don't like it, bro.
There's a long pause as Yellowstone waits for something. Maybe it's a smile. Or maybe she's waiting for me to crack.
What's the matter, Ranger? Ain't you gonna say howdy?
Oh my god. Oh my god, Yellowstone.
You.
Eve is having none of it.
Yellowstone!
You.
She was just cleaning the floor and you just tracked mud all over the fucking floor. This is amazing. My voice is a low growl.
Yellowstone?
Oh, she realized she's in trouble. Her voice is a scared whimper.
Do you realize what you have just done?
I grip her shoulders, digging my fingernails into her clothes. She shrinks back, and I feel like a giant. The fear swims in her eyes.
Did I sing too loud?
Look.
My hands move from her shoulders to her head, twisting her to each spot on the floor that mud is stuck to, forcing her to face the destruction she has wrought.
Oh, that ain't a big dealio. I can clean that up lickety-split.
She's been cleaning all morning, and you just barge in with your fucking muddy boots, and you spread mud everywhere through her clean floor. And this is your response? Okay.
Lickety split, huh? How long is that? It better be seconds because my boss will be here any minute.
Oh, jeez. I had no idea. Honest,
No
I'm
idea.
real sorry, Eve. Let me try and make it up to you.
I love Yellowstone slang. As good at it as I am, it's hard to stay angry at her for too long. With how often she cleans this place. I know she didn't do it on purpose. All she's guilty of is being an airhead. and getting uppity with an airhead just makes me a tyrant. I sigh, down from fury to mild annoyance. Progress.
Don't worry about it. We'll clean it up together.
looking over her. It's hard to not at least smirk. You ever see a teenager fall off a skateboard and eat dirt? It's kind of like that. Come on.
Look at you. You're filthy. How do you even get mud in some of these places?
By rolling in it. I dab my finger on my tongue and wipe some of the grind off her volcano. The brat groans and pouts about it. But by the time I'm done, I can see my reflection.
Same goes for you, Zion. What on earth did you get up to? You look like a derelict.
Oh my god. For as much grief as I give Yellowstone, for her butchering of English, for her butchering of the English language, at least she's not trying to bring it back to the 19th century like Yosemite.
Well, we were out picking mushrooms.
Okay, explain the mud, because the mushrooms don't.
And you avoided the poisonous ones, right?
Yosemite squats down, wringing water out of her hair and onto her jacket. As if polishing a plate or a car, she wipes the smudges off of Zion's face and makes an attempt to get the mud crusted to her hair. Some of the mud crusted to her hair.
Yellowstone almost ate one, but then I told her what you told me.
Don't eat the poisonous ones?
That ego death stuff gives me the heebie-jeebies.
That ego death stuff. Just what exactly are the mushrooms in Yosemite National Park? That's a good question.
But afterwards, we decided that plain old mushrooms just weren't enough. So we decided to make mud pies.
Oh my god. Mud pies aren't edible.
Oh no.
It was very exciting.
Oh my god. Yosemite's eyes are smithering. And the daggers are being sharpened as she looks to Yellowstone.
And you let this happen?
Yellowstone.
Sure did. Even used my head as an oven so the pies would get nice and warm.
Yellowstone! Okay, Yellowstone, you're an airhead, but you're not this dumb. I chop Yellowstone's volcano to shut her up. The ridges scrape my hand.
You already dug your grave. Don't give the eulogy too.
Yosemite's ire has been delayed for now. She sighs and returns her focus to Zion.
Honestly, Zion, it's perfectly okay if you want to play, but does it have to be so dirty? It's unsightly.
Fair.
Unsightly. Please. Since when did you become Victorian?
I snort. This girl has the weirdest hang-ups.
I'm not happy with it either, but she's just a kid. Let her have her fun.
Fair.
Don't call her that.
Yosemite snaps at me like a cornered dog. Both me and Yellowstone flinch. But when she looks back at Zion, all is well. She gives her a smile, brushing her fingers through Zion's hair.
Ignore her. You're a beautiful and proper young lady, like you've always been. Just be sure to act like it, okay?
That's a bit weird. Yosemite smiles. Yosemite's smile looks like it's starting to strain, forming dimples I've never seen before. Yellowstone looks away, frowning as she bends down to pick up the broom. Poor Zion can only silently beg me for help. Sorry, kid, but I don't think Yosemite's gonna let me win this one. Finally, she settles on Yosemite and tries to force her own smile, but her desperation for this moment to end is practically carved into her eyes.
Okay. I'll try to be more careful and not get dirty when playing from now on.
She pats Zion on the head stands up, massaging the bridge of her nose, like she was just struck with a migraine.
Sweetie,
Zion snaps to attention.
be a dear and dust off the top of the bookshelf for me, please. It's the easiest for you to reach.
Fair.
Yes, of course. I'll get right on that.
Anything to get out of this situation where you're staring at me. Because I live in a nightmare, Zion plucks a feather from one of her wings, then flies up to the top of the bookshelf to use it as a duster. Yosemite lumbers over the sink, returning to the dishes, leaving me and Yellowstone alone in the middle of the cabin. I lean in and whisper as she uses the broom to swat out the dust under the couch.
Why do I feel like I just witnessed something kind of gross?
She whispers back,
Because Yosemite's got it bad.
Has what?
Yosemite feigns a cough from across the room.
I'll see to my own as I deem fit, Ranger. Now get to cleaning before the better version of you arrives.
She's not wrong about that last bit, but I resent the first half. I've been here long enough to have at least some say in how exactly we play house.
Mama Bear Syndrome.
Ah! Yellowstone finishes her secret and slides off with the broom. It's none of my business, and I won't make it my business. But if I were to make it my business, which I'm not, there would be an uneasy tickle crawling down my neck. Who knows, though? It wouldn't be the first time a hunch ended up being the common cold. We all get to business and go about cleaning the cabin. Much to my endless relief, getting the mud out isn't as hard as I thought it would be. It's hardwood for you. Or that's hardwood for you. Floor as God intended. Oh shit! Sure as the sun will swallow the earth, Jess arrives right on time. 3 knocks clatter at the front door.
Knock, knock.
We all freeze. Three sets of eyes look to me.
Crap, it's Jessie.
Of course it
We
is.
can see that.
Technically, we can hear it. If her perfume is as strong as last time, we might be able to smell it too.
We really need to talk. We really need to have a talk with Yellowstone soon.
Sorry for being a minute late. Only locked the keys in the truck and it was just a whole big thing.
She grunts and I hear the porch creak.
Could you come open the door for me? I'm carrying a lot of stuff and it's actually
Another grunt.
a little heavy.
Her muffled voice sounds pathetic on the other side of the door. Sorry, Jessie, you'll have to wait just a bit longer.
Sorry, I'm naked.
You're a terrible liar.
And you're just terrible. Now, go disappear or whatever it is you things do.
The 3 girls come together to lock hands. Zion grabs a fine strand of muddy hair and a fine strand of her muddy hair and winds.
We're still so dirty. Let's just splash around in the river and wash it all off.
Sure, that works.
I don't think so. You'll be using the campground showers like respectable.
All 3 of them vanish in the middle of Yosemite's lecturing. A gust of wind rushes through my hair. Silence has never been so therapeutic.
Please. Gravity is kicking my butt.
Coming!
Oh dear. I sprint over to the door and open it for her, just in time too, because Jessie looks like she's about to be crushed by the weight of all the grocery bags she's holding.
Hi, Eve.
I think her muscles might collapse. The things I make this poor woman endure. Okay, so the audio for this one isn't quite out yet, for some reason. Hey, Jessie. Let me take some of those off your hands. The only comfort I can give her is a pitiable smile. I take half of the bags and balance them in my arms as I wobble to the table.
You're an angel.
That's a first.
Would be, yeah. We drop all the bags on the table and catch our breaths. Produce and snacks slide out and spread across it.
Whew. My eyes just about bulged out of my head when you faxed me your grocery list. You must be a hungry gal.
Sure, that's one way of putting
I'm
it.
bulking.
And by bulking, I mean running my ass off so Yosemite doesn't cook, so that Yellowstone's cooking doesn't lead to the growth of said ass. Seriously. She has so many dishes she wants to try out. I can't keep up.
Well, whatever you're doing, I'm just glad it's making you happy.
Alright. She flops down in the chair Yosemite usually sits in and takes off her hat so she can fan herself with it.
Oh, wasn't aware I gave off the impression of someone who was happy.
I slump down in my chair and rest my chin on the table.
Not on the outside. We haven't gotten that far yet. But I have reason to believe that on the inside, your heart is at least half full.
Fair.
Quit with the poetry and spill the dirt you have on me.
My muscles tense up. She couldn't possibly know about the girls, could she? Jessie slips a stack of folded papers out of her breast pocket.
This right here.
She slices through the air. Slices it through the air.
Complaints.
Campers couldn't take the heat, huh?
These are all from the rangers who work the station across the clearing.
Ha, what a surprise.
Oh, are the hacks upset because they can't do their jobs right?
I put on my best baby voice, and honestly, I think it's hilarious. But Jessie must think otherwise, because she just gives me a flat glare.
Let's read a couple, shall we?
Ugh.
Rolling my eyes, I rip open the bag of teriyaki jerky she brought. She gives a distinguished cough as she unfolds the papers and begins reading.
Ranger Adams is highly competent at her job.
More than them, at least.
I answer with half-chewed jerky still in my mouth.
However, her confrontational demeanor and rigid personality often puts her at odds with the other rangers.
Sounds fair.
Rigid? That's a new one.
She's in a cabin in the woods. Why does anybody care? Jessie scoffs as she moves on to the next file.
On various occasions, Ranger Adams has insisted that I am incapable of properly doing my job, and in one such instance, implied a threat of bodily harm against me by making a strangling motion when she believed my back to be turned.
Okay, that skid mark is a trust fund baby. He's only here because his old man rubbed elbows with the last secretary up in Washington.
Oh, Eve. Oh, I love Eve.
This one is my favorite.
Oh, I can't wait. What's next? What did she do this time? She reads off the next one in her stack.
Despite only working Mondays through Fridays, Ranger Adams routinely comes into the station on weekends to file paperwork that is not her own and investigate office supplies to make sure they are, and I quote, up to regulation standard.
Sounds like a good fucking worker to me.
They were printing out fire permits on yellow paper, Jessie. Yellow paper. I know things are always tight around here, but I couldn't just let them do that.
Come on, Eve! She takes off her hat and fans herself with it. Strands of her hair blowing past her smug face. Instead of saying anything, she just smiles.
So what? You here to scold me then?
At first. But you know those rate how we're doing sheets?
The ones that no one ever fills out?
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
From her breast pocket, she takes out a stack of paper. This one is way thicker. Like a deck of cards. She slides it over to me.
Pissed off that many people, huh?
Give yourself more credit. These are all compliments.
Okay, so you have a compliments and complaints. One pocket is compliments and the other pocket is complaints. Really?
What?
It's been
That
scientifically
can't
proven
be
if your name
right.
is Ben, you're 10 times more likely to be a hoe.
She's teasing me. That has to be it. I spider crawl my fingers to the paper. But stop just shy of grabbing it to read.
I spider crawl.
No one actually has the willpower to tolerate me finger wagging them for more than 5 minutes. Maybe here or there. But on the rare occasion when they're actually interested. But only on the rare occasion when they're actually interested. Or if they're pretending to be polite. But I have to. It's my job to nag them to be into safety. So that maybe they take care of themselves.
Every single one of these praises you by either name or description. There's a few bits here and there about scaring small children, but generally speaking, they love you.
What? Go ahead. What is your quick question? I have no answer to that statement. She clasps her hands together and rests her chin on the back of on the back of them. The look on her face isn't smug anymore. It's scarier. It's a genuine glint of warmth in her eyes. It's pride. It makes me uncomfortable. Not because of the crushing duty of obligation or anything. It's nothing like that. It's because of what's written on these it's because if what's written on these sheets is real, then that would imply that the Eve who is here now is, well, different from the one who was exiled to this cabin.
What they love is a ranger in a big hat who can do the whole shtick and gimmick with them. I'm a walk-around character in a theme park.
I slide the papers back to her, but she pushes them right on back.
What you are is someone people can rely on and learn from. Encapsulating ideals doesn't make you a fraud, Eve. You don't pick fights for no reason. You're honest. That's something people respond to.
I don't know.
And there's not a soul alive who doesn't have an opinion on honesty.
Just because it features specific Pokemon confirmed Gen 4.
I don't know.
That's why I love these. Even the complaints. They tell me that you're showing the rest of the world what I already know about you.
That she's a good ranger? That's something I don't think I'm ready to believe. This watch is too loose. I need to tighten it. Because it keeps on, like, flipping upside down.
I think you put too much stock in everyone.
And I don't think you put in enough. Try having faith in your fellow man for once.
Fair. She can generalize it as that. But I don't think that's my fellow man. I'm not ready to have faith. I don't think it's my fellow man that I'm not ready to have faith in. Looking down at the stack of papers is like looking down at a Bible. Thick, daunting, and it tells me more about myself than I would like to know.
I'll let you keep those.
Jessie shoots me a smirk that turns into a grimace. Her hand springs for her back as she lets out a pained grunt. You okay? She winces as she tries to soothe the pain. She makes the discomfort vivid enough for me to feel through osmosis.
How's that back of yours doing?
So kind of you to ask.
All she can do is groan. Her entire upper body looks as stiff as a plank.
Let's get you over to the couch.
I move out of my chair, but she waves her hand at me to stay away.
Let it happen! Let it happen!
The whole dramatic command somehow makes its way through her teeth. I swear sometimes she's just as stubborn as me. After a few more moments of her gritting her teeth and willing her way through the worst of it, she collapses in the chair and catches her breath.
You're going to overwork your way back into the wheelchair, you know?
I see my doctor has gotten to you too, huh?
Doesn't take a PhD to give common sense. Seriously, just take this surgery, Jessie.
What?
And be out for a month? I don't think so. What would everyone do without me?
We'd manage.
They'd have to.
What, the gift shop?
It doesn't even take a second for her to correct the record.
I'm sorry, that was really mean. I love you all. You all do such wonderful work.
Look at you. You can't even claim a small victory without stressing out over it.
She whines like a teenager.
I know. I blame all this paperwork. It's a lot of sitting down at desks, and my back just never took to it after the promotion. I'm filing more reports now than I ever did working patrol down in Santa Monica.
Now I believe that. This woman's existence. Well, that I find a bit harder to take. After getting crippled into early retirement, she trains her way out of borderline paralysis, then takes a job with the Park Service. She's nuts. Certifiable even.
Just try taking it a little easier. You're not getting any younger.
Oof, that was the wrong response.
Hey! What's that supposed to mean? My 30s aren't sunsetting just yet.
Do you look forward to playing against my Frank Kid deck when I play?
Sure. I'm looking
Of
forward to
course
getting
not.
Quick Effect Raigeki twice on my
more
own
like-
fucking turn. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
He was borderline paralyzed?
No, Jessie. Her back must be feeling a hell of a lot better because
I mean, my
now
back
she's
is
clasping her
carrying
chest,
so hard.
wounded by the truth.
Oof. Even your platitudes are cutting.
I thought you liked my honesty.
Not when I'm on the other end of it.
Jessie pouts to herself, then sighs. She whispers something I'm pretty sure she wants me to hear. Anyway.
Work in progress, Jessie. Work in progress.
She twirls her hat and sits it back on, then cautiously rises from the chair.
What? You're leaving already? You just got here.
Just because it's your day off doesn't mean it's mine. I can't stay here and chit-chat forever.
You literally almost... You had a muscle spasm and you're getting up to fucking go do more work? Are you insane? Stretching, she lifts her arms over her head and lets the slipped discs and nerves crack back into place. She gives me a chirpy little smile.
Unless you say please.
Yes, I know. I slide out of my chair, walk over, grab her shoulders, then shove her towards the door.
Yeah. Please leave.
She chuckles as I escort her. Honestly, I'm sad to see her go so soon. Jessie might be the only person in this entire park that I haven't pushed away through the years. Even as I'm physically pushing her away from me. She actually cares about me, and God knows why.
Oh, before I forget, what's on your agenda today?
Oh, well, I mean, Yellowstone cares. Yellowstone's known you for maybe a month at this point, but Yellowstone cares. I mean, nobody else but Jessie does, but Yellowstone cares. We stop at the door. A strong wind blows through the cabin. I look off into the distance. And instead of morning birds fluttering through a blue sky, fuck my speech, I see a stroke of dark gray form on the horizon.
Looks like it's fixing to rain, so I I guess I'll go see if anyone needs help keeping the water out of their tents.
Yeah.
Maybe drop by the station and make sure nothing is leaking.
Mm.
And make it bulky, and you basically just wipe a team to the end of huge speed boost.
Sounds good.
When they hit you, you get your weakness policy boost, your huge speed boost.
Wait, you're telling me you can catch a Sceptile in this game?
Yes.
This is the first time that the starters have been catchable.
Now they make it catchable in other games, usually South Park though.
Mm.
And then Ult Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon, scan a certain number of QR codes, and catch some of the starters. Only some of them though.
Looks like it's fixing. Oh, this was already said. I'm dumb. I forget that this game has voice acting. The jester over there probably would sooner let it flood than think to put a bucket underneath a leak.
Yeah, don't do that.
Mmm.
They think I dropped by to chew you out. Take it easy on them for a few days, and if they ask, just say I made you cry.
Mmm.
There goes my agenda.
For Pete's sake, Eve! It's your day off. Get some hobbies.
Get Yellowstone to teach you how to cook. Take up cooking with Yellowstone. That'd be funny. It would make you a happier person too, because Yellowstone's like way cheerier than you. She seems to be the only one of the three that actually talks to you. I stand in stunned silence as she marches over to the truck.
I have hobbies.
Like? Jesse snorts. I have hobbies! She climbs into the cabin and starts the ignition. Leaning out the door, she shouts over the engine.
Coffee doesn't count. Go read that book you ordered. Should be with the groceries.
Book.
Book.
I'm just gonna destroy this car.
When did I order a book?
I'm gonna actually play that.
All I faxed her was my grocery list.
Ta-ta for now. I'll radio you later.
Let's see.
Ooh, a mysterious book.
I definitely cannot play Mercy
Jessie,
if I'm solo queue. If I play
twinkles her
Twilight
fingers,
because I have to
out the window and salutes me a goodbye. As I watch her drive out of the clearing, I just feel more confused. She said plenty of confusing things this morning. The biggest being that crap about me being somebody people can rely on. But it still doesn't explain what book she was talking about. A truck coughs and wheezes down the clearing onto the dirt road. It climbs over the bend in the horizon. When it's out of sight, I step back into the cabin. My gaze shifts over to the table. In my head, I sift through the groceries. It's vague, but I can make out a rectangular shape of a book pressed against one of the bags. Weird. Really weird. In what's been a rarity since the day I was first stationed here. The cabin is silent. Even if the girls are just in another room. It's the first time in a while I don't have curious or prying eyes on me. The whole space feels dead and empty. Maybe a while back I would have liked it, but now it's just unnerving. I go onto the table and unpack the entire produce aisle from the bag. And sure enough, a paperback is waiting for me near the bottom. So new and unread. The cover still has a gleam to it. The Proust effect. The senses as a doorway to lost memories. I pick it up and flip it over. Doesn't take more than reading the first sentence in the summary to know that this is a Yosemite purchase. Of course it is. Who else but her? All she reads is pseudoscience and history. She tries to mix the two until they form a theory salad. Still, Yosemite isn't someone who would waste their time without reason. There's always a kind of logic, as warped as it might end up being. So it makes me wonder, What kind of mind labyrinth is she exploring right now? And to put a finer point to it, why didn't she mention it?
What's wrong with this?
The knob to the bathroom turns as the door squeaks. I dropped the book so fast it may as well be my college philosophy class.
Rub-a-dub-dub! Thanks for scrub!
Oh, the shirts are adorable.
I only understood half of that, but you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Yosemite.
I didn't know they had alternate designs. I knew Eve did because we've seen her in 2. But I didn't know Yellowstone and Zion had these shirts. That's funny.
You're very welcome, sweetie. Just be more careful next time.
The 3 park girls prance out of the bathroom. Not a single speck of mud to be found on Yellowstone or Zion. Instead of the outfits I've gotten used to seeing them wearing. They're both wearing matching oversized t-shirts. I love Zion National Park for Yellowstone, and I love Yellowstone National Park for Zion. It's so disgustingly adorable that my body has a physical reaction to it. Like my heart is melting or something. I hate it, but I also kinda love it. Yosemite seems to have a similar reaction, except her gushing is focused more or less on Zion, who is watching with this dopey smile, until our eyes meet, then she just frowns.
What's wrong with you? Just see a ghost?
I mean, yeah. I'm still hovering over the table like a weirdo, with the book now laying lopsided on the table. Totally not suspicious, Eve. Your snooping is both subtle and inconspicuous. Clearing my throat, I slink away from the scene of my crime. Hopefully it doesn't look as suspicious as I feel.
Sure did. 4 of them, in fact. Every day.
I'm going to avoid this conversation, so just roll with this, okay? Yosemite eyes me, both of us taking mirrored steps to our new positions. Me to the couch and her to the table.
Oh. Who's the 4th?
But why? What are you hiding, Ranger? I shoot her a pair of finger guns and click my tongue like a smooth criminal. Like the smooth criminal I know I absolutely am not.
The one I see in the mirror.
Doesn't matter. Let the conversation die, you entitled shrub. Her brow furrows. She stares down at the table for a long time, squinting as she focuses on something. It has to be the book. She's too savvy for her own good. She knows I saw it, and now I'm going to get a lecture for not minding my own business, despite her not telling me she was ordering it to begin with.
Your self-deprecation is boring. I'm starting to think it's the only gimmick you have.
She's got a bit more. It's cute that you think you can hide things from me. Be sure your sins will find you out, because if they don't, I will. God, here it comes.
What are these?
What are what? She picks up a folded stack of visitor surveys Jessie left here, and waves them through the air. Ah, shit! She found the embarrassing object. An audible groan slips out of me. Somehow this is even worse than if she figured out I saw the book.
Visitor surveys. Jessie thought they were important enough for me to see.
And you didn't look at them.
And I suppose you're ecstatic for the new fireplace kindling.
Not today. Everything in that stack involves yours truly.
What did you do this time?
No faith.
A good job, apparently.
A lot of good jobs, apparently. I scoff while saying it. Because if I'm being honest, I still don't buy it. Maybe we just got a weird batch of visitors. Or maybe those surveys are so layered with sarcasm it flew over Jessie's head. She's nice enough for that to happen. Whatever it is, it's not me. Yosemite scrambles to unfold the surveys. Her eyes scan across the paper, going from side to side as she reads, from top to bottom. When she's done, her ears twitch and perk up.
Eve. This is positive. Glowing even.
Oh my god. Hi there! You're getting banned. Thank you. Thank you for sending the fucking follower bot link. Goodbye, sir. Why are there so many people who send that stupid follower bot thing? Do people actually bot? That's so dumb. How does that help growth at all?
I'll take your word for it.
Once I've had time to digest everything, I'll start going through all of them. But right now, the idea of reading them reminds me of hearing my voice come out from a phone or video. It forces a kind of specific objectivity I'm not ready for. But Yosemite is ready for it. She laps that stuff up, flipping from page to page, devouring each one faster than I'm convinced she can actually read. She stops on one. A warm smile, untainted by her ego or usual sarcasm, spreads across her face. A flush red crosses her cheeks. And her pebble-like freckles glitter beneath the red. It reminds me of a vivid sunset.
I'm keeping this one.
Okay. Fuck you. Oh, that's a really... I want to buy that domain, Tyler. That's the perfect domain. Nobody would ever visit that site. I can... I'm gonna buy it from 10 cents on a domain website. I swear that's an actual link. Is that an actual link, Tyler? We'll check later.
I would not click that if it weren't.
I'm not actually gonna click it.
Those are official files that are technically property of the federal government.
Fair.
And now this one is an official document for my records.
Yosemite's head bobs to her fake laughter. She rolls one paper onto a tube and slides it into her jacket. The rest she puts back down on the table. This entire time, Zion has been eyeing the groceries and pursing her lips, as if she's been waiting for us to finish her conversation. Such a considerate little cherub.
Yellowstone, did you see? Miss Eve's mom brought groceries.
Not quite. My what?
I sure did. It's a freight load of it too. Now I can whip up all those vegetarian recipes you wanted me to try. Thanks, Mama Eve. Thanks, Eve's mom.
Let me stop you there. Jessie is my boss, not my mom. What kind of mental gymnastics did you do to get that idea?
Not, I mean, child gymnastics, honestly. It's the innocentest kind of, thought process. The idea that she looks old enough to be my mom would cause what's left of Jessie's ego to crumble into dust if she heard this.
Oops, that's my bad.
Zion gives an apologetic bow.
She's so kind and gentle with you. I just assumed.
Like a drunk kicking open. Like a drunk kicking open the church's door mid-sermon, Yellowstone barges back into the conversation.
Yeah, plus you talk to her like a cranky teenager.
I fucking love this visual novel so much.
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone is the best character by far.
And she's taller than ya.
Haha! Yellowstone!
Thank you, Yellowstone.
She's not gonna understand, Eve.
And you wear the same clothes.
Yellowstone, please go. You're gonna break poor Eve.
Because it's our uniform. What planet do you live on?
This one. Meanwhile, Yosemite is doing a terrible job of hiding her amusement. Her puffed out cheeks, the only thing keeping her cackling at bay.
Perhaps she's the better version of you after all.
I collapse on the couch, tossing my arm over my eyes as a makeshift sleep mask. Wake me up when this tangent is over.
The better version of you is the one on postcards. Now shove it.
For a brief, wondrous moment, all is quiet. Then I feel a weight press down on one of the couch cushions. I uncover my eyes and get a view of one of the lesser-known sights of the park. Yosemite's back. She sits on the edge of the couch, close enough for me to catch the smell of lemongrass and pine needles that always accompany her. But far enough for me to not kick her off for invading my personal space. She can stay. For now.
So now that your little get-together with Jessie has been adjourned, how do you plan on wasting the rest of your day off?
She was going to piss off the nearby ranger station, but now she doesn't have plans.
It's only a waste if I spend it with you.
Oh, I love Eve is great.
Is that your answer then?
I give the best shrug I can while lounging on a couch.
Boss lady told me not to piss off the bums at the station, so my plans for the day are dead. Might still go down to the camp and help people prep for the rain, though.
That sounds like a good idea. Maybe doing some journaling inside Teddy. Agonize over whether or not I want to read those surveys. After all, they aren't technically real until I read them. That's not how that works, but okay.
Actually...
Oh, well, Yellowstone's apparently going to be a part of this. Good to know. Yellowstone pokes her head over the back of the couch, thrusting her volcano between me and Yosemite.
As much as I admire you not having any hobbies, because you're such a stickler for your work and all, I think there was something Zion wanted to bring up with you gals.
Thank you for being a convenient plot device, Yellowstone. Why is everyone so stuck on this today? I have hobbies! Lots of them! You'd at least need an entire hand to list them all off. Hey, it spelled off correctly once. Yellowstone waves over Zion.
Don't be shy, cutie. They're gonna go gaga for the idea.
Does she want to go to Zion National Park? It's the only one we haven't visited yet. Yosemite and I pass unsure glances at each other. I'm pretty sure the last time I went gaga over something was when I was an infant. Twiddling her thumbs and staring at her feet, Zion floats in front of us, as if being forced to introduce herself to the rest of the class.
I didn't want to bring it up in case Miss Eve had any plans, but if it's okay, I'd like to make a suggestion.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead and say what you need to.
Yosemite's tone is light and airy and oozing with adoration. She treats Zion with kitty gloves, while the rest of us get the boxing gloves instead.
Well, you've been living with us for some time now, Miss Eve. And while it was an adjustment, it's also been very wonderful. Things are much more lively now.
Yellowstone isn't depressed as much. While I appreciate the sentiment, I think. Why does it feel like she's about to say, but it's just not working out?
Unfortunately, it's not often that the four of us get to spend time together. What with you and your work, Yosemite and her research.
Oh, there wasn't a but it's not working out. It's just a but we don't get to hang out. That's
so it's
nice.
Chill vibes.
Of course, Yellowstone has to interrupt the conversation.
Yes, and Yellowstone's spreading her message charge of chill vibes.
They're going over the front. They're going front side.
Okay.
We all spend time together, but we don't spend time together. It can get rather lonesome.
I get what she's trying to say.
Reach it, sister!
Let her talk, for fuck's sake, Yellowstone. Stop interrupting. Yellowstone gives a sagely nod, but I'm not sure if I buy the illusion.
So, if it's not an issue, perhaps we can all spend today, well, together.
Sounds like a good idea. Over the course of her pitch, Zion's face has been getting progressively pinker. The monumental task of addressing us all at once must be too much for her timid soul to bear. A stark contrast to the righteously furious angel that delivered a hellish tongue lashing upon Yosemite not too long ago. That is fair. She did like fucking. She did give Yosemite quite the fucking destruction in the last one. But between all the stutters and gulps and pauses, she managed to spit the whole thing out. It's enough to make me at least humor the suggestions.
Did you have anything in mind?
Good question.
Actually, there was...
How about a picnic?
That's surprising. Okay. I didn't expect Yosemite to come up with the idea. Yosemite cuts Zion off and does it with a smile on her face.
Ooh, I'm always down for a good old-fashioned picnic. We can have macaroni salad, P&P sandwiches.
PB and P?
What does P and P stand for?
Peanut butter and pickles, you goofball.
Ah! Oh, Yellowstone, what is wrong with you at times and your cooking?
Picnic is fine, but I veto whatever that is.
I agree with Eve. Before Yellowstone can whine about it, Zion wriggles back into the discussion that she sparked.
Isn't it going to rain though?
We could go to some other part.
Inside. Board games, charades. That might be nice.
Well, there are other places that you could go. You do have the convenient plot device of the teleporting pictures. Zion trails off her suggestion. Until her suggestions are quiet whispers. It must have been persuasive enough for Yellowstone, though, as she leaps to the rescue and lifts Zion back up.
You got a point. There was a storm brewing out there earlier. Let's just put that idea on ice for now and kick back here instead.
Nonsense. Zion loves picnics.
As certain as she sounds for insisting on what someone else likes, the moment she says it, the look on her face is anything but. Her lip purses into a deep frown. She stares at Zion for all her pride and snobbery. Yosemite actually looks pathetic. Like a scared child looking for an adult for comfort.
You do, don't you?
Oh my god. Zion stares up at her and they lock eyes. Any hesitation she had about picnics or rain melts away into a broad grin.
You're right. I love them.
Kinda weird. Using her wings to propel her forward, Zion flutters into Yosemite's arms, and the two of them tightly embrace. Yosemite closes her eyes and smiles, soaking the moment in affection. Soaking in the moment of affection. Zion's eyes are wide open and far away. She's not smiling. I don't know about this. Something's off about this dynamic, but I'm not sure I can grasp what it is. It is really strange. I look at Yellowstone, hoping for some silent elaboration, but she just clicks her tongue and starts walking towards the kitchen. Maybe she's right about it just being an intense case of mama bear syndrome. But who am I to say how park girls interact?
So what about the weather, genius? Or are you just craving soggy sandwiches?
Linear thinking. You're so good at it. We aren't limited to just eating within this park. There are other options. And I know just the place.
Zion looks up at her, most of her face buried in Yosemite's jacket.
You do?
Oh yes. In fact, it's your favorite place.
With a stretch and a yawn, I prop myself off the couch.
Guess that means it's time for another field trip.
My thinking may be linear, but if those paintings on the wall have been anything to go by, it sounds like the four of us will be piling into Zion National Park. I can act like a grump all I want, but Zion National Park has been on my bucket list for a while. Maybe if I'm lucky, they'll take me to the Weeping Rock Trail. I really wanted to hike under the mountain's overhaul. The best part of hikes like that is when you get sprinkled by the waterfalls. It's just so refreshing. You can feel so rejuvenated after.
Excited?
I freeze, only now realizing I'm grinning. It's a normal human reaction, but Yosemite always has a way of making it feel like losing.
A little.
It's embarrassing, but there are some parts of me I just can't deny. Like how I had a banana phone until I left college. I'm always going to be an earthy nature freak deep down.
I better get cooking then. It's still bright and early outside, but it's almost high noon in Utah. We don't want to end up sharing our picnic with the crickets.
Wait.
Yellowstone in the middle of tying an apron around her.
I'll fix the food this time.
I don't trust your cooking. Leave it to Yellowstone. At first, Yellowstone beams, because if there's one thing she loves more than helping, it's being offered help. But as sudden as lightning flashes through the sky, it morphed into a grimace.
Golly, I sure do appreciate the offer, Yosemite, but it's all fine and dandy. I can whip all this up lickety-split.
Yosemite releases Zion from her eternal hug and makes her way to the stove, snatching the apron right off of Yellowstone's back.
It's not fine and it's not dandy. You wanted more help around here anyway, so here it is. Besides, I know Zion's favorite food.
Just like that, Yosemite begins bringing groceries from the table to the counter. Yellowstone looks on in quiet horror, unable to stand up to the tyrant. Biting her thumb and she mumbles to herself.
Okie dokie, this is all fine. It's all gonna turn out swell. Just trust Yosemite.
I lean in and whisper to Yellowstone. The two of us are quickly becoming the keepers of all secrets within this cabin.
Be straight with me. Should I be scared of Yosemite's cooking?
Yes, you should be. We all should be.
Huh. I guess I was right not to trust her cooking. As we resign ourselves to whatever fate Yosemite cooks up, Zion walks past us and stops at the paintings. She stares up at hers, focusing on it, as if she were looking for something deep in the valley painted on canvas. For a long time, she stays like that. After what feels like an eternity of listening to genres of elevator music I didn't even know existed, the line finally starts to ring. Once, then twice. On the third ring, some lady on the other end answers. My foot aches from all the impatient tapping.
Yeah, I'd like to check my balance. Checkings.
There's a long pause. When she speaks, it's a bunch of nonsense words that I don't care about.
No, I don't want the app.
More words.
I don't want the credit card either. Just tell me if there's been any suspicious charges.
She sighs. I sigh. What a pain in the ass. I give her my account number. My eyes start to glaze over as I wait for her to bring up the info. Over by the counter, Yellowstone squirms and gasps as Yosemite crams what I think are sandwiches into the picnic basket. She forces the lid shut. A murky rainbow of fruits and veggies spill over the top. Zion is laying on my bed, staring at the ceiling. Pup is there too, curled up and resting his snout on her shoulder. I didn't give either of them the permission to be on there, but you know what? I'll let her have it this once because I feel bad that Yosemite is going all dance recital mom on her. The lady on the phone speaks up and starts listing off my recent transactions. Magazine subscriptions, Sierra Club, ASPCA donations, some bad graffiti artists' medical bills, the usual. But then, one unusual purchase. Nothing expensive, nothing grand. Just an $8 charge to an online bookseller. I sneak another peek at Yosemite. She starts humming to herself as she folds the picnic blanket onto an uneven rectangle. She smiles in such an uncharacteristic, joyful way that the skin on my back crawls. Okay, got it.
All right, that's all I need to know. Thanks.
Before I can end the call, she stops me. What is it now? She asks the question, as if I could, I'd reach through the phone and swat her over the head.
Yes, I know what a smartphone is.
Oh my god. I hang up and toss my BlackBerry on the couch. Can't a person check with their credit union without any hassles?
God!
At least I know one thing for certain now. Yosemite definitely used my credit card to buy that book. She probably used my phone to do it too.
If you're so dead set on living an archaic existence, you may as well resort to the barter system. Really stick it to 'em.
Fuck you, Yosemite.
You try operating in modern society. I bet you go nuts after forgetting your 5th password.
The fight drains from her eyes. She glances over at Zion, who is now sitting on the edge of the bed, waiting to go on.
You're probably right.
It's because of weird moments like that I'm not going to chew her out about it yet. There's something going on here. The unsure glances and sad smiles makes it as obvious as a slap to the face. I'm just going to observe for a bit and see how this plays out. Yellowstone told me she had wandered about 30 years before meeting up with the other two. These girls have decades of baggage. Just like the rest of us, really. All it takes is one single clap from Yosemite for both Yellowstone and Zion to rise in attention. Even Pup does it. They're better trained than most of my coworkers.
It took slightly longer than expected.
I sorta expected it.
She gives the evil eye to Yellowstone, who shuts up pretty quickly. Or it shuts her up pretty quickly.
It looks like we're finally ready to go.
Hooray!
Zion didn't want to go to her own national park. Zion is the only one even trying to match Yosemite's enthusiasm. Her heart doesn't seem in it, though. She taps the air with her light fist pump.
Yellowstone, can you make sure everything is accounted for?
Yellowstone tears herself away from cringing at the picnic basket, which looks more and more like a waste silo as food drips over the edge. She forces a smile, her greatest talent.
Aye, aye.
That's a really good forced smile.
Blanket and weights in case it gets windy.
Mm-hmm. She points to her back and shakes her backpack. I can hear weights rattle about in it.
Check. Adorable Earth Angel who's gonna have a swell time.
Doubt rings in her voice. She throws Zion a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Zion nods and gives her a thumbs up back. Yellowstone doesn't look convinced though.
Check. Evo.
I'm actually kind of excited.
I look down and try to hide the creepy-looking grin. I know I get when I'm happy. But Yellowstone still notices anyway, and smiles like she just saw something disgustingly precious. She giggles.
Check.
Just let me be the national park nerd in peace. Please, I beg of you.
Yosemite and her, basket of grub.
Why are you so afraid of calling my cooking food?
Because it might not be.
Check.
She doesn't skate along to avoid the subject. She skates a full 180 degrees to avoid looking at Yosemite.
Is Puppers tagging along?
Probably lose him if you tagged along. Pup, hearing his name mangled in a mangled capacity, leaps off my bed and bounces over. He spins in a circle, rubbing against my leg after every few seconds. Like his brain can't quite keep up with his body.
Nah, he's staying here. Just gonna keep him outside while we're gone.
Now, without her cuddle buddy, Zion floats off the bed and lands near the rest of us.
I saw him by the campground earlier. Isn't that a little concerning? He's getting awfully used to people.
He lives with 4 people anyway.
I know, right? Pretty boy thinks he's human. Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
There's a long, uncomfortable silence where my baby talk seems to echo across the cabin. It's only broken by Pup growling as he tries to gnaw at my shoe.
See, no hunting instincts at all. It's fine.
Zion sighs, then digs deep into the air and snaps off a branch.
Stick?
Where does she even get a branch from inside that reef? Pup tilts his head to the side. Zion flies over to the door, whirling the stick through the air. Like a magic wand, she opens the door and Pup scrambles over.
Want the stick, boy? Want the stick? Go get it!
With a pained grunt, she tosses it outside. It doesn't go very far, but it's far enough for Pup to chase after it. And more importantly, for Zion to close the door before he can come back. He starts scratching and whining at the door. It's hard to resist the temptation to go and let him back in. Unfortunately, Yosemite doesn't give me much time to dwell on my broken heart.
So now that the little fluff ball is out of the way, is everybody all set?
Looks like it, Chief.
Alright.
Wonderful. Care to do the honors, Zion?
Of course. Where am I taking us to?
Zion National Park.
Come on. You know the place. Your favorite place?
This is getting like hard to listen
It would
to
be hard to have
whenever
a
they
picnic
interact.
at Angel's Landing. It's quite chilly up there.
Yosemite frowns, then beckons her forward with a finger. She leans in and whispers something in Zion's ear. The small nose wrinkles in confusion as Yosemite backs away.
Yes. I can take us there. If that's what you want.
Where? Yosemite doesn't show much, Doesn't so much as sigh as she does deflate. Not the answer she wanted, I'm guessing.
Okay, everyone. Please hold hands. Miss Eve, I know this is your first time doing it with a group, but don't worry. It's simple.
I don't believe so.
Sure is. All you gotta do is touch the old bread makers here with the buddies.
Before she can jerk it away, she grabs my wrist with her kung fu grip. She forces my hand to Yosemite's. When Yosemite resists, Yellowstone just does the same thing to her.
There.
Okay.
Golly, you two don't have nothing but salt and pepper in ya, huh?
Our fingers interlock for a moment, our palms touching. Our palms touch, the skin pressed together.
She wants in.
Okay, take care of the cat. I don't know why you...
Okay. There's what she wants.
You can't let her in every time the cat wants into the fucking room, Marcus.
You said take care of her, and that said open door.
Go the fuck away. Stupid fucking idiot. I can't take care of you right now. All you want is pets. I love you, cat, but not right now. We both loosen our grip immediately and look away from each other. Far, far away, where neither of us have to see each other's stupid faces. Hers definitely being the stupidest. Stupid braggart idiot.
What on earth did you do to make your hands so callous? You could light a match on it.
I wish I could throw it right back at her, but her hand is so smooth. I could hardly even feel the lines on her palm.
Yours feels like peeled tree bark.
Does anybody play Pokemon Go? There's a mega raid happening and I need help. I don't know. I think Tyler plays Pokemon Go, but he's not in here right now, so...
Is that your only insult?
It is. And I hope you get termites.
Yellowstone grabs my free hand and squeezes it. My fingers feel like twigs, bending and cracking under the grasp of Yellowstone's strength. My body flexes as I deal with crushing pain. In my resistance, I squeeze Yosemite's hand. There's a single snap and she lets out a yelp, just like Pup. Get his ass in here and tell him to friend me so we can do raid. I will, but as soon as he gets back. I think he's using the restroom right now. A puff of black smoke. What are you doing? How did you even get up there? You were on the floor. How did you get up onto my bed? I have a bunk bed. I am on the top bunk. Are you about to get reversed? No, I'm not. I'm not about to get banned on Twitch. Thank you very much. I need food. Let me grab my food. What happened to the... Oh, I put them over there. Hold up, I'm fucking starving. I started this at like 11:30. It's now 1:22. I haven't eaten. Why did I tie this so damn tight? Alright.
Unless the both of ya are cruising for a bruising, let's not turn this into a slobber knocker.
Being threatened in the most slang way possible. And not like modern slang either. It's just fucking like 80s or yeah, like 80s slang. She says it all through gritted teeth. A dark smile forces itself across her lips and digs into her cheeks, corrupting her usual jolly dimples. A red glow pulses from her volcano. By the way, this is in fact a volcano, and it can erupt. So how's the Roids deck coming along? I hate that I have to use Future Fusion in a deck to make the deck able to do things. And I decide then and there that it's probably for the best to try and avoid any future eruptions.
Capiche?
Threatening them with the end of America. Oh my god. To mention, she is connected to Yellowstone National Park. When she gets angry, it causes an eruption. It causes earthquakes in Yellowstone National Park, and could cause the volcano to erupt. Fair. I could do that, but Future Fusion is more fun. It helps the deck a lot. Yosemite hurriedly nods, or follows suit.
Yay! Take us away, cutie!
I don't think she can die. I think they're all like immortal or something.
Don't let go, Miss Eve. That would be very bad.
She's also very adorable, so I don't want to kill her.
Uh-huh. Why am I only being told this now?
Wind rushes up from beneath me, lifting me up into nowhere. All that surrounds me is electricity. Like I'm a grain of static in every television sign-off screen to ever flicker on a screen. And that I've been living this way forever. I'm not breathing, I'm not existing. I'm only moving. And I move into darkness. So we're fucked? Yeah. Just don't make her mad. When I stare too long, vague shapes of constellations and heavenly bodies show themselves. I feel my hands begin to slip out of Yellowstone and Yosemite's. Before I can let go, my knees hit the ground.
Ugh.
Well, we're lucky she's not a normal person, or she would be angry in 2 seconds. As soon as someone makes a damn mean joke. Oh, she's got more than that. She's got more resistance than just being mad at a joke. Able to breathe again, shoveling in as much air as possible as I possibly can into my lungs. This wasn't nearly as intense as the other times.
Thank you for flying, Air Zion. I apologize for the turbulence.
For the almost dying? I'm guessing you want to be free, cat? Go. Both of the cats were in my room. Wait.
Is this?
My hand rubs across the ground. Moist soil and dirt cool my skin.
Zion
I accidentally
National
skipped the
Park?
rest of that. Looks like it. I jump to my feet, then jump back up, trip, then jump back up again. Splatterings of trees extend into the distance, in all directions. In the clearing we're at, the land is nearly bare of them. But the further you go, the closer they get to each other, and the more of them there are. Until these sparse, almost naked trees combine their presence and merge into a forest. Yeah, this is exactly the problem. The nice thing is that Yellowstone is like actually a nice and cheerful person, so it's actually very hard for her to get angry. There's an elegance to them. The restrained spacing of the pine needles allows them to show off more of their toned and sleek wood. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be wood and not wood. If their mighty redwood cousins back in Yosemite are knights, then these are fencers. I don't know how it works. All I know is they gave a fucking volcano on our head. They all acclimated the base of the mountain, as if it were a place of gathering and worship. The mountains look alien compared to the natural green of the trees. Its face is a gray mass, but jagged spikes of pink and gray minerals outline it. The unmistakable trademark of the Navajo sandstone. Patternless nooks and overhangs look like they've been carved into the mountainside by an artist with no vision. Something so chaotic and random. It could only exist in nature. Yet it anchors this entire forest, presiding over it like a custodian. That'd be funny.
Ranger. You're looking at the North Guardian Angel.
There's more popular places in the Co-op Terrace.
Zion must feel Yosemite's eyes watching her, because she immediately course corrects.
But the Northgate peaks are always so beautiful. Something as simple as sitting between a mountain can really humble you. You're telling me? Just looking at it makes me feel like a teeny tiny ant floating through oblivion.
Why is the middle girl an elf? I don't know. That hasn't been explained, actually. She just is. We've got an elf, a hipster, and an angel. They just kind of got to deal with it.
Huh. You get that too?
Wait, did that?
You're telling me?
Okay, yeah.
You get that too?
Like clockwork. I just try to push the bad thoughts away.
You know, the universe is going to collapse on itself one day.
Why would you say that?
Not thinking!
Yellowstone plugs her ears and stomps her feet to drown me out. Yosemite has wandered off, inspecting the ground for a flat spot to clear of any rocks. Where the fuck did they even come from? We don't fucking know! That's the thing. We don't actually know where they came from either. They don't know where they came from.
Eve, stop inducing an existential crisis in Yellowstone. Yellowstone, could you help me with setting up the food, please?
The quote-unquote food. I can't wait to see what this looks like.
Smokey.
Yellowstone prances over. I'm gonna. Because prances and skips are the exact fucking same. Why? I don't know. To Yosemite, humming a little tune to herself. For someone who was brushing up against a nervous breakdown, she sure did recover easily.
But you gotta let me choose the picnic spot. Not just any old ground will do. It's an art.
And I assume you're the artisan?
Yes, indeedy. And you can just call me DiCaprio.
Okay. She proudly crosses her arms, basking in her status as the skilled homemaker. Meanwhile, Yosemite basks in the stupidity of what Yellowstone just said.
Do you mean Da Vinci?
The two of them go off, arguing the dichotomy of Leonardo's, as they search for the perfect place to picnic. While they're busy doing that, now would be the perfect time to really take in the sights. I take out the camera and I stashed away in my flannel pocket. It's a digital one I bought almost 10 years ago. I still barely know how it works, but once I get it turned on and triple check it's not set to record, I start snapping away. How the fuck do they even know who that is? Fuck if I know. It's not every day I get to visit Utah. In fact, the only time I've ever visited has been when I drove through it when going from Georgia to my federal training in Glencoe. But I've always loved just how red all the mountains are. Not so much here, but you wouldn't have to go very far to find entire mountain ranges that glow as if an entire sunset was being projected upon them. There's no other state that quite looks like it. The people are nice too. I zoom in close on one of the more interesting spots on the North Guardian Angel. An overhang on the far left. It's curved in such a way that the shadow cast under it makes it look like the entrance to a shallow cave. The wall of the mountain fades into a dull pink at the end of it.
Are you?
Why the fuck are we even friends with them?
Happy to be here, Miss Eve?
We live in the same cabin. Eve was put in the cabin because she broke a dude's nose for graffitiing, for spraying paint all over the national park, as discipline. And they kind of lived in that cabin, unbeknownst to, like, literally everyone. And she made a deal with them to let them stay so long as they didn't, like, do anything incredibly stupid. So far, they haven't done, I mean, other than Yellowstone almost wiping out America, they haven't done anything really that stupid. Grass rustles. The grass rustles. I look away from the camera. Zion creeps to my side, twiddling her thumbs and keeping her eyes locked in the ground. Why do they live in the cabin? They're like fucking demigods. Go find out why. I don't know.
25 minutes?
25 minutes to work?
25 minutes till 2 o'clock.
Till 2 o'clock, yeah. Are we going at 3?
No, now it's picking us up at 2.
Okay. I still don't have a black belt.
I thought Marcus would let you use his black belt.
I don't know. I'd have to ask him.
I've got another belt.
Okay. So it looks like I'm going to work soon. I'll probably finish this up. I should. As if the simple task of talking to me was a potential risk. My raid ended, so Tyler is once again useless. Panic sets in as she scrambles to clarify.
Oh no! Not at all!
Hesitance sets in as she realizes she can't.
Well, not entirely.
As polite as ever, I see. Even when the truth is inconvenient.
Don't need to sugarcoat it, kid. I know what I am.
You do?
Whatever she's thinking, I've been called it. Cynical, stick in the mud, hard ass, or as Yellowstone might put it.
Sure. A grump.
Zion jolts up so far that she floats back to the ground, swinging her head back and forth. I thought she said crafty. And I was, how the fuck did this man get in a game?
That's a fib! Never ever have I thought you were grumpy, Miss Eve.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Alright, I'll get ready to...
If not,
it'll work.
I'll give you this one.
It'll work.
So I can cut this one down to size for you. I can cut this down to like 32 or 28.
It'll work, don't worry.
Well, try it on, let me know. If it doesn't work, let me know, because I can change this belt out for you.
Okay.
Sorry guys, didn't mean to interrupt the great Hellfire 44.
Oh my god.
Just sad.
Gravity must have gotten a little heavier, because my arms fall limp at my side along with the camera. Zion is such an abnormality. An anomaly, sorry. Even when compared to volcano heads, waterfall hair. She intuitively knows the way most adults are too self-absorbed to be, and she does it with the gentle honesty of a child. Oh, by the way, just so you know, I'm back to 5K, so I'll be at 8K before next voting. As far as I know, she could be both or either. Who knows how years and age even work for these girls. Despite that, it's hard to feel like she's effectively anything other than a kid.
How can I be sad when you're so pretty? This park has sights I couldn't dream of seeing in NorCal.
It's not something I'm particularly good at doing consciously, but I try to give her a smile, using my mom as a base of reference. Someone who managed to ascend to sainthood despite raising 5 rowdy kids. Or because of it. Zion can't hide her blush, as pink as the gradient on the mountain. Her usual uncertain courtesy is briefly taken over by a huff pout.
You really mustn't say things like that, Miss Eve. It's embarrassing for all parties.
I'm surprised you haven't misread anything yet. I'm surprised I haven't either. I never thought about it much before, but she really does sound like a mini Yosemite sometimes. Except Zion's words have the benefits of not being spoken by a big mouth. Let's hope old Leafy Ear's personality doesn't wear off on her too.
But just so you know...
She lowers her voice to a grave whisper, cupping one side of her mouth to tell me a secret. She waits for me to crouch down. I don't.
It's very possible for someone to feel sad, but to try and hide it by pretending to feel another way.
Yeah, wasn't that literally like the entire theme of the last episode? Of episode 2 was that Yellowstone felt sad, and she was hiding it with happiness.
Uh-huh. And do you think that's what I'm doing?
It's possible. She shakes her head again, twice as hard, and with twice as many shakes.
Not anymore. Not at all.
Oh, so at some point we were sad.
You seem to smile so much more these days. And you don't sigh as much before going to work now. That one is the most notable. Sighing is the biggest sign of sadness there is. You're still scary, but you've absolutely changed. Now you're nice scary.
Interesting. Pressing her hands together, she gives me a smile. But the way she closes her eyes while doing it makes me think she's just scared to see my reaction. As she should be, because that's hogwash. What's with these campers? What's with Zion? Or Jessie for that matter? What am I doing that's any different from before? There's no change in just doing your job, or the stupidest, simplest thing like smiling. That's called being a normal-ass human. Last I checked, I didn't imply something as drastic as going... It didn't imply something as drastic as going soft, or letting go of things that made you hard to begin with.
Trust me, kid, I'm just as scary today as I was yesterday. No one stops being miserable overnight.
It's not been overnight, though. You've been doing this for like a month.
Throw me a bad day and see how nice I am then.
Well, I suppose that's true.
Our character is asking all the right questions. Yeah.
But you've been with us for more than a single day. Or night, for that matter. Change is as gradual as the passing of dusk to dawn, after all.
That is surprisingly philosophical.
You still notice the crack of dawn, though. Can't say it looks much brighter than the witching hour right now.
Zion contemplates this, rubbing her chin like a junior detective.
In that case, you're probably still sleeping.
This better not end as a fucking dream, I swear.
Some people sleep in for an awfully long time.
It's just a metaphor, Hold up, these bitches are demigods. Go fucking ask them what the meaning of fucking life is. She glances over at Yosemite, and her and Yellowstone are arguing whether Splinter was one of the Renaissance great or not. Are you fucking kidding me? I don't know how it got to this point. I don't know how my life got here either.
Zion, are you feeling sad and pretending?
If there's something going on between her and Zion, whatever wordless little struggle it may be, I'm bound to get sucked into it at some point. This is what happens when an entire social ecosystem is crammed into a cabin. Zion's shoulders tense up and slump down. It's hard to read her expression, based off her profile. But when she turns to face me, her tiny hands are clumped into fists, and a certain certainty steals her gaze.
We do what we can for as long as we can, Miss Eve.
That's so... What? That's so depressing to hear from a small child. And so fucking mature.
As your manager, I booked you work at the Bucks game today.
I booked me work at the Bucks game today. There's a sharp whistle from behind us. We look back, and both of Yellowstone's pinkies are in the corner of her mouth. Talk about skill. On the other end of the spectrum, Yosemite has both her pinkies in her mouth and is still blowing all the air stored up in her lungs into them. When she notices us watching, she pretends she was coughing into her hand. On the ground beside them, an entire picnic spread has been set up.
Stew's down, you two. Come and get it.
Stew? Yellowstone scrunches her nose.
Say, Yosemite? Don't you mean soup's up?
Come and get it.
With a small sigh, Zion leaves me behind and starts walking over to the others. At this distance, I wonder why she doesn't use her wings.
However long we can take it.
I felt like
Oh
you could
dear.
use some work.
Coming, Yosemite!
I felt like you could use some money, so I booked you work.
I booked myself work. You don't get to decide when I work, especially when you're not working for the company.
I mean, technically...
Or I read my fucking joke. I did.
Technically, I could go work an event, but I'm not working.
Okay, I'll read it aloud then. Ah yes, everything is a dream. One of the best things in a video game. Wakes up from your dream. Yosemite greets Zion with a smile and a small hug. Having been separated by long, untraversable distance of 100 feet. She looks over to me and her eyes go flat like a dead fish. She points at the invisible watch on her wrist. Amazing. Even in moments of obvious internal crisis, she manages to be insufferable.
Excuse me?
Yes?
Excuse me.
We lock eyes. I put on a smirk as swarmy as the one she usually wears, then make my way over. Really slow. And you didn't laugh? No, I didn't laugh. We lock eyes. Oh, I already read that.
Gotta say, girls, this place is gorgeous. Maybe even prettier than the park we came from.
I don't mean it, of course. Not with the memories I have there. But if it'll get under the skin of Yosemite the Prude, then I'll temporarily diss Yosemite the Park.
It's cute how you believe your pettiness will fuel my ire, when all it does is serve to further your own rot. Perish, gremlin.
Don't use those $20 words of yours to be a Grinch, Yosemite. Dollface was just smelling the roses.
Yellowstone, unaware of psychological warfare, unaware of the psychological warfare occurring in front of her, sticks up for me. This is it. I win. Yosemite cannot fight back against such oblivious kindness.
And they smell great.
Oh my god. I already have the money to buy Life is Strange. I just haven't done it. I let the sentence slide out, you know, because I have too many shit to finish. I have too much shit to finish right now. You know? Too many games I have to play. I let the sentence slide out in a whistle. So backhanded, I can almost see it slap Yosemite's face. She clicks her tongue and waves me off. For once, a total victory. Finally. Then fucking do it. I have to finish Persona 4 first. Calm down. Yellow Eyes might not notice it, but Yellowstone might not notice it, but Zion sure does. Throughout all of this, her eyes have been swooping back and forth between me and Yosemite. She uses the lull in conversation to shift gears.
This spread looks like something out of a picture book.
I did.
Did you
Okay.
set it up, Yellowstone?
I finished everything I intended to finish in Slime Rancher. If I play it again, it's just gonna be for casual, like, collecting stuff.
Bet you tush I did. It was just about the only thing Yosemite would let me do.
No, and I don't plan to.
My world's fully automated. Go ahead.
Oh, we get a CG.
Get on my level.
I don't fucking care. Aesthetically, the picnic spread is really perfect. Wait, does your world even exist anymore? I thought your fucking world got...
It worked again.
Okay.
Like 20 minutes to fix it.
Yellowstone's knack for detail shines. With everything... Is that a fucking pine cone on the plate? With every paper plate and dish arranged around a picnic picnic basket, as if it were a coffee table centerpiece. On all four corners, smooth stones weigh down the blanket to keep it from crinkling up. All that's missing is potato salad and fireworks. You haven't even made robots or combined any of the new slimes or unlocked silver's like... I know. I'll do that eventually, but I finished what I intended to finish. And what I hadn't finished in the past. I'll do that eventually. I just have so much I have to make up for on... Because Persona is a long fucking game. Even the spot she picked feels like it was expertly chosen to create the most all-American picnic experience possible. Right underneath an elder tree with drooping branches and leaves for shade. I know which spot I'm taking.
Hey Zion. How does the food look? I made all of it. Even the Globe Mallow gruel that you like.
Gruel?
Doesn't it make you salivate? Doesn't it bring back memories?
Oh my god. You haven't even gotten feral slimes you told me you would? Wait. I told you that it was impossible to get feral slimes. Not that I would go get them.
You get the saber slimes.
Feral. Feral as in slimes that are in that area where they attack you?
Well, the ferals are just the aggressive ones. But I think
No, he's talking about legit feral slimes.
Oh, well, not really impossible. You just gotta let it get pissed off to the point where they're breaking out of fits.
Memories of what the fuck are these bitches talking about?
Then you just have to either
Okay.
all the way to
I don't want to spoil things for you, so you'll understand.
But to get a feral, you either carry it all the way to your base, or you fucking...
Yeah,
like,
memories of puking on the back top as a kid. No, I'm not. Oh, are you actually talking about saber slimes? In all fairness, it could end up being good, but things aren't looking too hot right now. I'm talking about the cat-looking slime on the... He's talking about hunter slimes.
Oh, he's talking either the hunters or the sabers.
Well, he's talking the cat-looking slime on an island. He's talking hunters.
No, if it's on the little island...
He's talking about cat-looking slimes, though.
Yeah, the
which
sabers
are...
that look like saber too, yeah. I
Mm.
mean, I guess I could trade solo things.
Some of these dishes look recognizable, but they're all the wrong color. That grits oatmeal porridge thing she made. Yeah, that's orange. It shouldn't be orange.
Something highly mobile if I'm solo
A fruit salad with pine needles as bedding. That's my only guess for the plate next to it. Were these even the fruit? Were these even the fruit that Jessie brought over with the groceries? Was any of this? She did the weird disappearing thing while making the food. Did she just go out and pick whatever she could find? It's a saber and a hunter mix. All I know is that you can't capture them. You can only mix their plorts with other slimes. Yeah. Zion observes the assumedly edible substance in front of her and nods.
This looks like you tried really hard, Yosemite. Good job.
I have received no calls. Is she here? Okay. I go now? Alright, see you next time. Ouch. Must be fire season because Yosemite got burned. But that doesn't seem to bother her. In fact, she's smiling. Like her macaroni portrait just got hung up on the fridge. Good job, Yosemite. It's not Da Vinci. But you get 2 gold stars. She's either deranged or resilient.
I'm glad. I was thinking of you the entire time.
Okay, this is strange. Alright, I'm gonna save, because I have to get ready to go to work. And
We'll continue at 9.
Sure, I'll continue this at 9, because I don't imagine I have that much to do. So put a... well, you have the whole day to do it. I have to go to work. So put a pin in this. I will continue it later at night. On that note, I will send you over to... let's send you over to Valia Luna. Oh shit, there's a we'll be right back screen. Oh dear. Well, I'll see you all later. You have a nice day. Bye.